I think we're in it. I don't know, I had to mount it upside down, so we'll see how it turns out. What's going on, guys? Welcome to PWRBLD TV. This is gonna be a new style video that we're gonna do that I think will be probably interesting to some of you, probably not so much to some of the others. So obviously, as you guys can tell, a lot of my content has kind of transitioned to, you know, gym owner talk, entrepreneurship, building a business, running a business. And, you know, I don't think to get quality content out for that category, I don't know if we need like the really cool edits and like, I don't know if we need to go trying to make the video just like look cool, you know? Like, I don't think we need like the drone shots or anything like that. So what I'm hoping is, while I'm traveling around as much as I am from gym to gym and a lot of the other meetings that I'm going to, and hopefully this video doesn't get too bouncy. I am obviously driving, but I feel like this is a good opportunity for me to kind of dive a little deeper on specific topics on running a gym, running a business. I mean, obviously everything that I'm speaking on is going to be catered towards the gyms, PWRBLD Gym. If you're not familiar, guys, if maybe this is the first video you've ever decided to watch on this channel, my name's Collin Whitney, the owner of PWRBLD Gym. We have multiple locations. I had 3, and I actually recently sold the first location in 2024. It was a little bit smaller, just didn't necessarily meet the current model that I'm aiming to have moving forward. So King of Prussia, Warrington, they're larger facilities. They truly cater to powerlifters, bodybuilders, Olympic lifters, strongmen, anyone who is lifting, basically. So yeah, so here we are now, 2 locations. So my life's a little crazy. I'm literally always running around from location to location. You know, we have things in the works for 2025 that are exciting that I'd like to get to on these type of videos as well, to kind of give you guys a behind the scenes look on what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and also give you some insight on why I do what I do. You know, with this video in particular, I wanted to just kind of like maybe introduce this style of video, get some input from you guys. Hopefully you enjoy it. They are going to be a little more raw, but one of the ways I thought it would be good to kick off this type of video is just talking about 2024. Again, if some of you are new to the channel, you know, 2024 yet again was our biggest year ever at PWRBLD as a gym and as a brand. And we were able to open up the newest Warrington location, which I'm actually driving to right now. And this was the biggest project I've ever done. You know, quite a bit larger than obviously the first 2 locations. And that's the goal, is to be honest, just continue to level up, continue to add more value. That's always like my #1 priority, is how do we continue to add the most value possible? I feel like if you do that as your main focus and goal with any business, you give yourself a much higher chance to succeed than if you're going into it strictly from a financial or profitability standpoint. Like, obviously, in order for a business to be successful, you need to eventually be profitable. You need to make money, otherwise you don't have a business anymore. So those are important variables to consider. But what has served me well in my first business, which, you know, I still do, which is coaching in person and online. That's kind of how I got my start. And even with that, it was always, how do I provide the most value possible? So that mentality continues to reign true through now being in business since 2016 officially. Like when I first made an LLC and kind of went through that whole process, which I'm sure maybe some of you guys are looking at doing or interested in doing. And yeah, it was obviously like a lot of the early days just kind of figuring shit out. To be honest, there wasn't really anyone making videos like this that would kind of talk about the actual behind the scenes of establishing an LLC or starting your own coaching business. Like, it was actually still kind of new back then. Now everyone's doing it. It's probably oversaturated, but what I don't think is oversaturated is this type of content, more raw, real content with owners, founders, entrepreneurs. So yeah, with this initial video, I wanted to kind of just touch on, 2024, our most successful year, and, starting a new gym. We added to our team quite a bit. Like the team from 2020, 2021, even 2022 to now last year, 2024, has doubled. Obviously because of multiple locations, but also even adding a leadership team. Now there's a manager at each location. I'm overseeing all of the gym operations, coaching operations, but I have a gym manager at each location. I have a training manager for each location. We obviously have our general staff. We have our media team. We have a content director. It's kind of wild because early on, you literally are every role, you're every position. And now we've created a full-on team. So that was a big part of 2024, is establishing that team. That was a big part of leveling up as a brand, as a company. And it's very, very difficult to do. That's going to be a whole other topic. I'm going to make a whole other video on building a team, because if you ask me, that is the most difficult part in business. But again, getting back to 2024, one of the big goals obviously was getting the new location up and running. We did that. Establishing a team there. We did that. Expanding the team within our entire PWRBLD company, and we did that. So towards the end of 2024, big goal was starting to systematize some of our operations. So that way it didn't take me being hands-on as much. It allowed me to take those systems, deliver them to the management team, and allow them to execute and fulfill their role. Very, very difficult to do because some of you may know, and some of you may learn, it's all but impossible to find somebody who's going to care as much as you. And you can do your best. You need to do your best in order to find people that do care, but it is going to be very, very difficult. So part of that process is allowing yourself to kind of let go of the reins a little bit while making sure that you have that accountability, so that way you're not losing the quality of service, the standard that you set. And I feel like not to pat myself on the back, but I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job. I definitely can do better. And that's what I've been working on by kind of creating those systems that others can follow and enforce. So we're getting there. Q4 was a big quarter for us in 24. We have kind of taken a lot of those same goals from the end of last year, and essentially we're just doubling down on them with Q1 of 25. Again, a whole new video will be made of what the vision is for 2025, some of the goals. I think that'll be a fun video because you kind of document the vision, you document the goals, and then it's always kind of cool to be able to look back on that a year after, 2 years, 5 years after, and be like, holy shit, we actually did it. So we will make a whole video on 2025, the outlook, the vision, the goals. But this video, I kind of wanted to establish you know, just this style of video and see how it's received, and just honestly get myself in the habit of making these videos. One of the things that I've tried and to be honest failed in my opinion is documenting my process on my own. I've done I've been lucky enough and I've done a good job of surrounding myself with some very talented people like Sue Tren, Dave. I've at least done that, right? I've at least put some people in position to be able to help with that. But I feel like I could just do better at kind of documenting things, you know, like this, right? All it took was getting a camera, getting a window mount, and here we are making content that I hope is valuable to you guys and I hope can be interesting to some level. And to be honest, it's just, again, it's documenting my journey. It's documenting PWRBLD's journey. It's funny, it always like still feels so new because things move so fast. And I still remember just getting the key to Conchi. And now here we are later, I'm driving to the third location, even though there's only two now, but you know, driving to the third location, the biggest location yet, like truly a world-class facility. And yeah, it's been wild. So I think it'll be good to document this process even more, document my thoughts, and to be honest, provide you guys with value, because it's one of those things that, again, like this type of like content really wasn't around too much. There was a few people doing it, but not as much anymore. And I feel like some of the content nowadays is a little bit more watered down. You know, I think there's a place for just pure entertainment value, but I do think information is also just as interesting, and I think, you know, you got to have a combination of like the entertainment value and information. And you know, we have a really great team around us. We have athletes now affiliated with the brand. I feel like a lot of them can provide maybe more of the entertainment value at this time, and I hope that I can provide, you know, more of the information and the behind the scenes, the business talk. And the reason I wanted to kind of turn focus to that for myself is because that's honestly what I'm interested in. Like, all I listen to is like business podcasts, entrepreneurship podcasts, reading books on business, marketing, you know, all of that stuff is like what I've been obsessed with now for the last like 3-4 years. So I like to think I have some decent experience now and knowledge. You know, I've been doing this since 2016, just as far as being in business and creating PWRBLD, the brand. Since 2019, we've had the gyms established, and, you know, we've had success with that. So yeah, this video is essentially just to kind of, you know, get the ball rolling with this type of content. I'm actually heading to Warrington, like I've said, about to film with Sue some more content like this, but we're going to be touching on, again, some new topics. I'm going to get a quick little training session in as well. So kind of in between sets, I'll be talking to you guys about, you know, a variety of topics involving the gym and how we've grown the gym to what we have. And a lot of these topics have actually been requested by you guys. So I know there's some of you out there interested. Yeah, I'm excited to do it. I think it's going to help keep me accountable, and yeah, it'll be fun. I'm interested to hear hear from you guys. I want to hear your feedback after, you know, even this video, the next couple videos. I don't think I got anything else right now, but you know, one of the things that's interesting too is, like, you know, when I was talking about some of the things that we've accomplished in 24, it's like, it's a lot of the stuff that you literally just can't, there's no way of knowing it until you kind of get there, right? Like, understanding the value of having a team. Like, you don't know that early on because, like, it's just you have your head down, you're literally doing everything, you're in every position. And it's interesting to kind of think about how, as you get to the next level, it introduces a variety of bigger, more difficult obstacles, which is the fun part. I gotta say, I fucking love this shit. Like, all I think about are the gyms, PWRBLD as a brand, our coaching services, like how we can just continue to improve, because I feel like we're capable of so much in this space. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but I do feel like we are unique in the gyms that we have. I think we are unique in the coaching team that we have. the services that we provide. You know, I know there's a ton of gyms. I know there's a ton of coaching services, but we've created something unique and authentic. I'm just really excited to kind of take you guys along for the ride even more in depth. I feel like we've been trying to do that, and hopefully some of you have kind of enjoyed seeing the process, but I want to take that up a notch, and I think we can do that. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm about to park, get in the gym. We have some filming to do with Sue, and then I have some boring office work to do while I'm here, along with in-person training clients after that. If you guys are wondering what a day in the life is like of a gym owner, coach, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it, this is it. Started the day with meetings, possibly adding a new coach to the team, which I'm really excited about. Always driving back and forth to the gyms. That's the thing, is like, I'll end the video with this for all of you who are interested in, you know, owning a gym someday, or maybe you even have a gym, so you'll be able to relate. But you don't open a gym just to open an easy business. It requires you to be incredibly hands-on, nonstop, 24/7, 365. But the good thing is, I literally fucking love this. I would rather be doing nothing else than to be spending my days and nights in these gyms, fixing machines, cleaning the bathrooms, cleaning the machines, interacting with our members, coaching my clients. Like, it's a lot of work. If I added up the hours that I work every week, it's got to be like 80 to 90 hours. I'm not kidding. But it doesn't feel like work, right? Kind of maybe wrap this video up like this. Like, one of the days that kind of changed my life, and I've talked about this in videos a long time ago, but after high school, started worked at a UPS part-time. I worked at a restaurant part-time, and I worked at a car dealership part-time. I was literally working 3 jobs. So I don't know how many hours it ended up being. It was probably around 50, 60 hours a week, but like, you know, none of those were fulfilling. The one thing I will say is I feel like I've been like a hard worker. I've always wanted to do a good job at no matter what I'm doing. But it's different when you're doing something you're passionate about. I eventually ended up just getting a full-time job at a Walmart distribution center. For any of you guys watching this that work in a warehouse or a DC, stay strong. I know it's literally probably one of the worst jobs. Sometimes it's kind of all that's available in your area, and that's how it was for me. I grew up in a small area, and that was kind of like one of the only places you could get a job at that time and make like 20 bucks an hour. Like, I remember I started out at like 15, 16 an hour. I literally worked there for 4 years. I sometimes think to myself, I wasted 4 years of like some of my best years, like 19 to 22, 23. Or maybe it was 18 to 22, but like I wasted some of my best years. But like, that time frame built kind of the drive that I have today to do what I do today, to be able to sacrifice what I do today, and to just continuously push forward, because that motivated me to want to get out of that position and never go back. I've said this probably a dozen times in a variety of content that I've done. I tell people all the time, I would rather be homeless than have to go back to the Walmart DC. I literally worked in a freezer while I was there, so I would like bundle up in a snowsuit and literally go pick ice cream and build pallets 7 feet high all day long, nonstop. So yeah, I'm motivated more than ever. Motivation will never be lacking, that's for damn sure. For some of you who can relate to those type of jobs, I'm sure you have a lot of drive as well. The key is finding a place to put that drive. So with me, I was able to, figure out like the gym is literally all I loved and thought about, even at the, from like 17 on, like I just wanted to lift. Then once I got into like coaching and program, I was like, man, helping others is like it's literally like better than yourself making gains and hitting PRs. There's nothing more rewarding than seeing a client work for 6 months to hit new PRs like in a meet, or just in general strength, just like feeling better, looking better, literally seeing in their overall being that they're just happier. that is the coolest fucking feeling in the world when you can help somebody achieve that. But main point of wrapping up this video with this topic was, whether you want to open a gym or you want to open another business, the key is make sure it is something you are passionate about. It can't be a get rich quick scheme. It can't be, I seen a YouTube video and people are making a ton of money doing this on TikTok or Amazon, or they made their own Shopify website and now they're making this much money. Those stories are few and far between, especially stories that actually have longevity to it. Figure out what you're passionate about, something that you would just be willing to wake up and do for free. And if you could turn that into a business, that's your path. That's what you want to figure out. Figure out what your natural inclination is. I kind of figured that out before this book, but if you guys haven't read this book, a personal training client of mine referred it to me, and it was a great read or listen, and it's Mastery by Robert Greene. Download it on your phone or buy the book. The whole book is literally about that. Figuring out what your natural inclination is, and that's where you're going to have the most success. So if any of you guys end up getting the book, let me know. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts, and hopefully it helps you find direction in kind of what you would want to do, or maybe a business that you would like to create. But yeah, that's all I got for this one, guys. Let me know if you kind of like this style video. If you have any topics that you want to hear about, leave a comment. I appreciate you guys if you've stayed through this whole video. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. It helps the video a lot. Follow the channel if you're not. We have been really consistent with our YouTube channel lately. It's something that is a huge priority for this coming year, and it was obviously last year too, and we want to just double down on that, and we want to push even more, provide even more content, provide even more value to you guys. Thank you all who have been around for a while. I've been on YouTube for like 8 years, 9 years. It's kind of wild to think about, but this year I want to kind of take it to a whole nother level. So that's all I got. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one.